Siempre me gustó mucho la genética. Cuando estaba en el colegio siempre me resultó muy interesante y la carrera para esto era biología y he decidido seguir en ese campo después con la tesis de licenciatura, con la tesis doctoral y ahora investigo.
Genetics are very fashionable study because I think genetics is the oldest study among the studies. Even E. coli, even Drosophila, all living things study genetics. So I like the genetics. I love it.
It's something that will help a patient. Bench to bedside research. That's what I'm most interested in and have been ever since I started. My entire research career was in clinical departments looking at human mutations.
What makes me passionate about being a scientist is getting to explore things that are unknown. You're on the verge of what we know and you're trying to expand that knowledge further. And especially from the perspective of being in an MD-PhD program, really a lot of the research is motivated by going to clinic, seeing patients, and realizing we're treating them symptomatically. We don't really know what's causing their disease, so we don't really know how to treat the root cause of the disease. And being able to go back in and approve patient treatment because we now understand why they have the disease they have.
To love genetics, you need to love the unknown. And I always was impressive with the things that had no answers. So if you like to ask the question why, then I think you will love genetics also.
Well, I love genetics. Have since I was 12 years old and wanted to figure out why so many people had red hair in my family.
There are many things that are still need to be discovered and that are important for the benefit of many patients, many children. I work with children, so I'm interested, in helping them.
To discover a new thing, like I selected a subject where there is a lot of gap to work to know something new. So yet there is no any gene discovered for stuttering. So I'm trying to discover a first or second gene responsible for stuttering gene. That's why I selected this subject.
I like science because it's kind of like it doesn't really matter who you are. To me, that's what got me interested in science, kind of math. With English, it's kind of subjective. Either your professor likes what you wrote or doesn't. And science, it's either you got the answer or you didn't. And so I think that's interesting. That's a nice approach to things. And science there's so many ways that you can change people's lives and make a difference. So that's why I'm passionate about it.
What makes me passionate about science is just the vast array of things that science can touch. Like science, it's so many different things in science. Like every lab I've worked in, I've loved it. I cannot decide what I want to do because I think everything is so interesting and everything has so many aspects to it. And it's just so many things to choose from and so many things connecting to each other. And that's what makes me passionate about it. And that you can help so many people.
Because it's not boring, it's different every week. It's a different challenge every day, and you're not sitting behind an office and typing the same things all over and over again. And second, you don't have, in the big sense of the word, somebody on top of your head telling you what to do every day. You can go with your judgment on what, you feel like you have an independent path to follow and fulfill your dreams and finding whatever you want to find.
Because it's so a miracle, like God created this world, and so many things we don't know yet. Like how the Earth, before we thought that the Earth is flat, it's not round, right? Later we found out it's round, and how it's going. So many things we don't understand yet. We are not able to know everything yet. Yeah, so we need to do science to know more about this world, about how the God created things, why, how it works.
I love playing with Lego. This is the same stuff to me. You know, I wasn't out there for the Nobel Prize or saving mankind or, you know, the higher aims. I really love playing with that. I used to have a small microscope and looking at onion, you know, peels and cells in there and growing, you know, little stuff. And when I went to high school after the first hour of chemistry, I went to my chemistry teacher. I told him I'm going to treat plants with different elements, chemical elements, you know, not even the compounds, and try and see what happens to them. And so I headed back to, you know, tackle stuff and see the outcome. And I also like the data and tables coming up and the patterns coming up and all that. So it's really, to me, it's really the planning, you know, have some idea and have someone to let you do that and let you buy your groceries for that, for playing around.
Science is the final frontier. Every day is completely new. You never know what will happen this day. You can anticipate, but you don't know really what will happen, what will be the new finding. You expect to find something, and then you find something else, which is much more interesting, and then you go on from that.
Science is a game. Like I also, when I did my PhD, I said, look what funny thing. People are giving me toys and paying me to play with the toys. What could be better than that? So if you're curious, science is a tool that you can express your curiosity and find new things and accept your own pleasure of playing. If you're lucky, you also get some result that helps others. So doing what you like and also doing something good out of it. And on top of it, getting paid for it. What could be better than that?
Well, it's a passion, your original drive. Well, that's the science means. It's not a money. Money is not there. But you do for challenge, you do for something inner which you drive you to finish the challenge.
I really think it's fun to communicate science. That's one of the things that I'm the most passionate about. I like to explain science to non-scientists and help them see why the heck we do what we do.
From a childhood, I was very curious about how the human system works and all the diseases and the problems, and always I would ask why somebody gets a certain disease or a disorder while somebody else doesn't, and what we can do to cure or prevent it. So that's just something I don't know why, but when I was in middle school, I started getting interested and I ended up being in science and a scientist. I don't think I planned it, it just took me that way.
Well, I like it because it serves the people, because when you know better, then you can serve them, especially in my area, which is DNA diagnostics. So when you know about the genes that cause diseases, then you can serve people with these diseases in a better way, manage them in a better way, and provide them with counseling and all the information that they might need in order to treat or prevent the recurrence of these diseases.
I love everything about being a scientist, but I'm mainly trying to discover new things and see how things work.
Because you never know what you're going to find, so it's a mystery. There's so much to figure out what works, why it works the way it does, why doesn't it work when you want it to, those types of things.
I think it's in our genes. Because I think these people who are involved in science and research, they are specific a bit. After many years, I can see that they differ from real scientists. Is different person from who are just coming in the field, making PhD thesis, and going to business.